Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Hey, it's Danny here again with Nationwide Cruises and Vacations. And you know what I love talking about? I love talking about all things travel, travel offers, travel news, and travel tips. Uh, Today, I've got an old friend of mine with us, James, who is with Amstar DMC. And Amstar is our destination management company, if you will, that we use um, for the Caribbean, for Mexico, for Hawaii, even into Central America. And they
Mhm.
handle all of our transfers, our private transfers, even the tours in all of these destinations. But I invited James to join me today because I wanted to introduce you all to the new Tulum Airport that is south of the Cancun Airport. And James, I think, knows this airport in this region very well. He's already flown in and out of there several times. He works with the ground operators to set up our transfers for us. And so I wanted James just to come online and tell us all about uh, the new Tulum Airport and some of the resorts that are in that area. So, welcome, James, and I'm going to let you take control and maybe introduce yourself a little bit, the company, and tell us all about Tulum Airport and the resorts and tours in that area. So, it is your
Good.
floor now, my friend.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, Danny. And Danny was right. We've been friends for quite some time. Danny and Nationwide Cruises and Vacations is one of our preferred partners, travel advisor partners. So they're one of our top ones. Amstar actually is, as Danny said, a destination management company. So we do transportation and excursions, and we can facilitate groups and just about anything you need in destination. Amstar can handle it for you. And we actually, let me go forward there. We have our destination expertise. Amstar has been in business now for 36 years. We are part of Hyatt, is our parent company. So we've got a lot of backing with us there. 8 countries, 30 destinations. As Danny said, we're on both coasts of Mexico, the West Coast and the East Coast. We are in the Caribbean, in Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, St. Martin, Aruba, Curacao. We also handle Costa Rica, and then in the US, we are in Hawaii as World Star. So we cover destination management in all of those different destinations. Um, we're going to talk a little bit about the Tulum Airport. So we were very excited. This airport has been rumored to be coming for probably the last 20 years, but it finally came to fruition. So we're very excited about it. As Danny said, it's quite a bit south of the Cancun airport. It's the most southern airport in the Riviera Maya, um, and I'll show you a few distances and a couple of maps. But we accepted our first passengers from our parent company, Apple Leisure Group Vacations, on March 24th. So far, we have done almost 7,700 transfer services out of the Tulum Airport. And predominantly from that airport, then I'll show you this map in a moment, but predominantly the biggest selling hotels from that airport are Dreams Tulum, the new Secrets Tulum, Secrets Akumal, the Hilton Tulum. So anything kind of in that hour north of the new Tulum Airport is kind of the sweet spot for those hotels. So, and then the other thing that we're mentioning right now, they're slowly adding service to the Tulum Airport, meaning more flights. As that builds up, you'll probably see us start offering our regular shared transportation. But right now, until that traffic increases, we're offering our private deluxe and our private services only from that airport. So whichever you decide to do, it will be private at this point. And then jumping over just to show you this map, to give you an idea, the Tulum Airport, as we said, it's actually southwest of the town of Tulum. So if you're going to downtown Tulum, it's about 25, 26 miles. It's about a 42-minute transfer. And if you'll notice on that map, you actually have to go south to go north up there. But they are working on a little piece right here that will cut off this southern um, necessity for going down there, and it'll just go straight across. So hopefully that'll be out soon. But if you're looking at downtown Tulum from the Tulum Airport, you're looking at about 45 minutes or so. If you go up to the Akamal area where there's Secrets Akamal, there's a ton of great hotels up there. You're looking at about an hour transfer, so it's about 45 miles. And then going further north up into Puerto Aventuras, it's about 55 miles, so it's about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 25 minutes. It really just kind of depends on the traffic at any given point. Now, going further north of Puerto Aventuras, if you're staying in a hotel, say that's in Playa del Carmen or in that area, I would personally suggest flying into Cancun and going down to Playa del Carmen as opposed to flying into Tulum and going up to Playa del Carmen. The only way I would say to do that is if you're just finding an incredible price in the Tulum Airport. I mean, it's a beautiful drive. It's just going to be a little bit longer getting to the Playa del Carmen area from Tulum, as opposed to coming down from Cancun to the Playa del Carmen area. So keep that in mind, but just gives you kind of an idea of where the airport's located, a little bit inland and southwest of the Tulum, downtown Tulum. And of course, Amstar, we meet and greet for all of our arrivals and departures, something we like to mention, as I'm sure Danny tells his clients constantly, you have to exit the airport to find your Amstar rep. And this is in any of the airports that we operate from any of our destinations. You have to see the sky and see the shirt, and that's when you know it's true Amstar. Because unfortunately, a lot of these airports have big areas of timeshares that will try to snag you on your way out of the airport. You basically just ignore them, go straight out of the airport. Once you exit the airport, you'll see the Amstar folks waiting right there for you. So I'm sure Danny reiterates that with everybody, but just keep that in mind because it's very important. If you wind up getting sucked into a timeshare presentation, you'll never make it to us. They'll take you into separate transportation, and I definitely would not suggest that. So look for the shirt, look for the Amstar people outside of the airport. Now, in Tulum, now we do offer shared transportation, and we also have big motor coaches for groups as well. But since we're kind of focusing on Tulum, these are the two types of transfers that we're offering in Tulum currently. Our deluxe private, which is basically the VIP treatment. This is it's private, but it's like the upgraded vehicle. It's the wow factor vehicle. So you can do the deluxe private transportation in any of our destinations, but this is offered from Tulum right now. And then, of course, our regular private transportation. And again, this is private. It's just not going to be in that fancy vehicle. It's probably going to be in one of our Mercedes Sprinters or something like that. And one thing to note, too, is that our fleet of transfer vehicles never reaches more than 2 years old. At 2 years old, we trade them out and get new vehicles. So you're always going to be in a fairly new vehicle, no matter what type of transfer you're getting into. But again, we have the deluxe private, the private out of the Tulum Airport. And then out of every other airport, we also offer shared, and we have large motor coaches for groups as well. So keep that one in mind. And of course, as Danny mentioned, we do excursions as well, our handpicked experiences in destination. We have over 1,000, and these run the gauntlet from you can do cultural, you can do gastronomy, you can do soft adventure. We have tons of water adventures. There's just something for everybody. So if you're interested in doing something specific, all you have to do is reach out to Danny or someone on his team, and they'll be happy to set you up with some of these. But let me just give you an idea. All of our excursions that we offer are sold as share, so there will always be somebody with you. But we do offer the ability for Danny and his team to make them private as well. So you can do private experiences, and then we'll talk about signature experiences in a moment. But the private experiences, it's the same product, so you'll be able to, let's say you want to do a catamaran tour, or you want to see the Tulum ruins or something. You won't have anybody in your transportation, and you won't have anybody sharing that experience with you once you get there. So these are fully tailored experiences. You can do them for half day. We can create full day. We can create multi-days. Whatever you're looking for, we can do that for you. So again, just reach out to Danny and his team. They'll be glad to set that up for you. And then a new product that we're offering are signature experiences. Now, signature experiences are very high, very exclusive, and these will never be a shared product. Typically, we don't allow more than 10 people in the same group to participate, 10 to 15. So they're smaller, more boutique kind of products. And these are, to give you an example, we'll take you on a catamaran cruise with food and drink and everything included. You go out, you can spend however many hours you want snorkeling, sitting in the ocean or the Caribbean Sea, and then we take you back. We have one that takes you back to Holbox Island, where we have a private beach, and we send a chef with you, and they cook lunch or dinner for you on the beach, and you've got that the experience of having a private beach in that area, along with all your drinks and food and everything, of course. So these are great products. If you've been there, done that, you want something a little bit different, this is definitely something that I would suggest for you to try. And just to keep in mind, I mean, as a kind of to reiterate, Anstar's been in business for almost 37 years. We know what we're doing and we do it very well. We are the largest destination management company in the Caribbean and Mexico. So you've got a lot of backing behind you when you travel with us. And that's my little spiel. I think Danny's going to ask some questions and we'll kind of go through some things. So I'm at your disposal, Danny.
I always have questions. Are you kidding me? And as many of you know, that I love putting sometimes some of our travel partners on the spot with some of my questions too.
Hot
So
seat.
sorry about that. But so Tulum Airport is what would you say from some of the resorts? About 20, 30 minutes away, like the Secrets, the Dreams, the Hilton.
So no. So if you're saying like Secrets, or sorry, excuse me, Dreams Tulum, which is pretty far south, that's about because that map I showed you. Let me go back real quick because that's a really good point to bring up. Let me go back. That area where Tulum, downtown Tulum is actually south of Dreams Tulum. So it's not, it's about a 45, well, I'm sorry, closer to an hour to get from the Tulum airport to Dreams Tulum. So going further, like, so Dreams Tulum is up in this area right here.
Mhm.
So just to get to downtown Tulum is about 45 minutes. So you're looking at about an hour to get to Dreams Tulum. And then it just kind of goes up there. Secrets Aquamal is probably an hour and a half. You know, once they get this little cut across completed, it'll probably shave off about a half an hour. But right now, it's not open yet. So if you're going south to go north at this point. So pretty much anything you can always count on about 45 minutes to where downtown Tulum is, and then you add on the time for each hotel above that. So Dreams
Okay.
Tulum is about another 15 minutes above downtown Tulum, and then Aqua Mall is even further up, and then Puerto Aventuras is even further up from there. So again, it's a beautiful drive, but if you're going down there and you're thinking you're going to get there in like 10 minutes, probably not. It's not quite that fast. Oh, and I see Sandy's joining us too.
Yes, she is.
Yeah,
Okay,
didn't she
so
just? She was just there, wasn't she?
yeah, she's always in the Caribbean somewhere. And she probably did not hear that statement, but yes, Sandy is always in the Caribbean or Mexico and exploring resorts, and usually has her laptop and her cell phone and is working in between site visits of resorts or
That's the way to
relaxing
do it.
at one of the resorts.
I
Hi,
So
try.
Sandy.
Hey.
so welcome, Sandy. Sandy is she is I'm going to get in trouble for saying this for from some of our other team. She
Uh,
knows this region and most of Caribbean better than anyone, and definitely better than me. So
oh my gosh, that's saying a lot. Thank you.
I will absolutely admit that. So I want to some more questions about the Tulum Airport that I have.
Sure.
So I think Tulum Airport only has about 13 gates right
Mhm.
now. The Cancun Airport has about 54 gates.
And
Um,
the luggage wait time in Cancun is about an hour,
right.
and the wait time in Tulum is like 20 minutes.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you're in and out so quick. It's so nice, and it's a beautiful airport too.
Right.
We flew out of
So,
there just a few weeks ago, and it was amazing. Like everything was quick, fast, easy. I mean, we talked to the gate agent longer than it took us to go through security.
That's fantastic.
that's awesome. So, in saying that, talking about it being a much smaller airport, making it much more convenient and faster to get through customs and get your luggage. It, yes, that is fantastic to know that. But a question that we get periodically is, well, why don't we just fly in there for Playa del Carmen or even Cancun hotels? And the answer that I would give you is no, you do not want to do that because of the distance. You've still got to fly into Cancun to get into the Cancun area and even up into Costa Mujeres for sure, which
Definitely.
is a very popular area of the Yucatan area right now. So keep that in mind. You really want to go to Tulum to get into Puerto Aventuras and south. Is that correct? Or
I think Sandy would agree with me on that. At most, I would never go further than Playa del Carmen when flying into Tulum, and that's quite a stretch right there. So the sweet spot is basically Puerto Aventuras to Tulum. I think that's within
Yeah.
an hour to an hour and a half transfer kind of period area. Um, Anything north of that, I mean, you're going to wind up spending more time on the transportation, even though you get in and out of the airport quicker. So, I mean, you might as well go into Cancun and, just deal with getting your luggage a little bit later and being closer to your destination.
right,
Sandy, you
right.
agree with me on that?
I do. We stayed at we were at Unico, and
Mm-hmm.
we flew out of Tulum. So that was, very convenient. Still a good hour and 10, 15 minutes, but it was an easy hour and 10 and 15 minutes, wasn't a
Right.
lot of traffic.
Right. And then the good thing about the transfers right now with that is they're all private transfers in and out of that area. That's
Right.
correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yep.
Yes.
Until
They're
we
all
get more traffic, meaning more flights as they're adding them on, we'll drop in the shared option. But right now, it's not financially sound idea for us to do any shared at the moment. So it is private deluxe only right now, in and out of Tulum.
and that's perfect because we I would really only recommend private transfers
I
even
agree.
in and out of Cancun if possible. If you
And
can
one
and
one little trick on that to keep in mind and to remind you and remind your clients, if our shared transportation is charged per person, our private transportation is charged per vehicle. So if you've got six people that you're say charging,
Okay.
$50 a piece, that's $300. When you might be able to get a private vehicle for one 200 or $250 payment. So a lot of
What do
times,
I look like? Can you
private's a
turn on
lot
my
better
video?
option than the share.
yeah. And right now we only have out of the US, only American, Delta, JetBlue, and
JetBlue.
United are flying in and out of the US. Of course, Canada, there's WestJet that has service, and a lot of the Mexican airlines are doing service in and out there, but that's not going to benefit any of us here in the US or Canada.
Yeah.
So we do have four major carriers that are flying
And the
into
prices are good.
they're fantastic.
Yeah.
They really, really are fantastic. And something that I just learned that you said, James, that I really like is your fleet. You try to keep it 2 years.
No more than 2 years old. So when a vehicle reaches that 2 year mark, we basically sell it and get a new vehicle to replace it. So our fleet's never more than 2 years.
So you sell it off to one of those other companies that we would never use. So
I would never say that out loud, but
I would. I'm the most honest one here. So there you have it. Are the one
but
that
we
will say
maintain them very
anything,
well. So even selling them off to those other folks, they're still getting a good vehicle.
Right.
right? Danny, the no filter guy here, will ask any questions at all. I love that. I think this has been some good information, and why you should really think about Tulum and maybe get you into some of those other, areas of the Yucatan
Mhm.
area that
Well, and
people never
airfare
think
alone's been
about.
pricing cheaper in that area.
Oh,
Airfare's been pricing less. Yeah.
and
Right.
if you mind a fairly long transfer, I mean, I don't know, back in the day, if you remember, flying into Cancun and being transferred to Tulum used to take like 2 hours, if
Oh
if
yeah.
not longer. again, it's a decent drive. You get to see a lot of kind of cool stuff. So if you don't mind that longer transfer, like Sandy says, the prices are incredible. Take the cheaper flight, go into Tulum, and just take the extra, just know that it's going to take you maybe an extra 45 minutes or so to get to your destination. But again, it's private. It's nice. You can sit there and enjoy yourself. We have Wi-Fi on all of our vehicles, complimentary. So there's a lot of benefits to it.
Right. And then, of course, working with Amstar, we work with our wholesalers that we can bundle all the packages together when it comes to the airfare, the resort, the only private transfers in and out of Tulum. So all of this, can be bundled together for you. So it's seamless for you. It's in one-stop shop when you buy it from us, because we're going to work with great companies like Amstar. And then, of course, he's already mentioned about the tours that you can do, whether it's in Tulum, Akumal, Cancun, Hawaii, Central America. So, we've got you covered for all of those destinations, all
And
over
you
the
know what?
world.
One suggestion on that too, just as a reminder, because it seems to be obviously travel is doing very well in Caribbean, Mexico, Central America. If you want to do a specific experience, let Danny and his team pre-book it for you. It's better to pre-book it than to take your chances on getting down there and it not be available. So lock it in. I mean, you're better off doing it that way. That way, everything's covered. Danny and Sandy and everybody have checked everything. They know exactly what you're going to be doing, and you don't get down there. You don't have that. You're not having to pass your credit card, in a foreign destination. You're not having to sit at a desk to figure something out. That's time you could be sitting in the pool with a drink. So pre-book it with those guys, and they'll take care of you on that.
That's yes, absolutely. And then the last thing I'm going to say is about the transfers. James mentioned when you land, no matter at the Tulum or the Cancun airport, you want to go after you clear customs. You want to go directly outside, because that is where you're going to meet the wonderful Amstar reps that are going to get you into your private transfer into the resort. Because if you don't, chances are someone from a timeshare company, they're going to stop you
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to take up your time, which you could have been on the road already and up to your resort and hitting a pool. They're going to take up so much of your time. So keep that in mind. After you clear customs, get your bags, go directly outside and only look for those reps with the Amstar logo on
And
their
they're
shirt.
not
So
shy about being a little shady, saying, "Oh, you're with Amstar. Come here." They don't say that they're Amstar, but they're, "Oh, Amstar, come over here." And then you go
right,
over and get their Amstar. You know what? Look for the shirt, go outside, and you'll be taken care of every time. Just don't talk to anybody in the airport. And
that's right.
Danny and Sandy and his team, they have access to airport maps. So we have an airport map for every terminal and every destination we offer. And it basically will walk you, show you getting off the plane and where you go through customs and immigrations and grabbing your luggage and going outside. And it reiterates on there, go outside. You have to go outside to find.
Not to scare you, but just to make sure that you know, because we don't want you to, you know, you're on vacation. You've paid money for this trip,
Right,
and
right.
you don't want to get stuck listening to a presentation when you could be at the beach or
For
at
a
the
bottle
pool
of
slipping.
tequila, you can buy a
Right.
bottle of tequila a whole lot cheaper than that 4 hour presentation.
That's,
Right.
that's exactly right. So, do either one of you have anything else that you want to mention with this? We've covered so much on it. We really have.
I think as far as the Tulum Airport area, again, just to reiterate, I would be I would say the furthest north you'll want to book into the Tulum Airport for is Playa del Carmen, and again, that's a stretch. Just that sweet spot again is basically Puerto Aventura and south. If it's a fantastic deal and you don't mind the transfer, by all means, do it and enjoy the ride up there because again, it's going to be private, so you're not having to listen to anybody else's conversations, and you can either go quietly. Your driver is very fluent, and the guide's very fluent, so they'll be able to tell you. You can ask them questions. They'll point out any kind of things to see. So, it's kind of up to you on that. But either way, we're happy to take care of you, and you're in good hands with us. And of course, um, Danny and his team are preferred with us. So, anything
Yes.
that you need, you can reach out to them, and we're always happy to help.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you for giving us a good intro here to Tulum and Sandy's and your personal input because you've both already been there. I've not yet. but I will be soon. So thank you for your input. And of course, in the comments on YouTube and Facebook, I will include our contact information so you can reach out to us, and I will get you in contact with one of the travel, concierge agents that know the area and know the world basically, and to help you start planning your trip. And of course, if you are watching on YouTube, you want to go ahead and click on that subscribe button. That way you can stay up to date with all things travel. But for now, I'm going to say thank you, James. Thank you, Sandy, for jumping in. And everybody that's
Sorry, I
watching
was
it
late.
now, nope, that's perfect. You came in at a great time. Um, but I'm going to say bon voyage for now. And thank you for joining us. And we will see you soon for another update. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, James.
My pleasure.